Unfortunately, when I played Pokemon Ruby for the first time as a kid, I never got to experience glitches in my Pokemon game. I didn't start out with Gen 1 games, which is notorious for having a number of glitches and bugs and weird stuff within it, to a comical level, and it's just totally expected, of course. Gen 1 is gonna be like that. But I've certainly played through Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and have experienced various glitches and bugs, and just weird gameplay phenomena. Okay. This game has glitched so much. For some reason, I'm controlling an iron hand. It doesn't register as Roaring Moon. It's Pudding Cup, someone else's iron hands. The one next to me, I guess. This is... I don't know what's happening here. And then someone else maybe is working on a Pudding Moon, because I see it attacking and stuff, but no, apparently I've got Pudding Cup. And the moves with it. I saw this thing do a belly drum, like, what? What's happening? I'm trying to get herbs. See, go Pudding Cup, what? That's, what? I don't have a future Pokemon in this game. How do I have, like, someone else's? What was this mess of a raid? Oh, Volcarona's still there? The heck? It never went back to its Pokeball? It's just chilling? Can we do that again? What the heck? He does not want to return. There he is. Trapped, stuck. Dude won't even come to me. He is just stuck. Fixed in place spawn now. That's what he's become. What is happening? Okay. And he won't follow. I love Scarlet and Violet. There are no spawns of Pokemon. But... oh! See, this is the glitch. Hit that ZL button. Looks like this still works. Spawns to come in. If kind of briefly, but the shinies I think are supposed to stay. The shinies stay on the screen because they work a little differently, I believe is how this goes. This is shiny hunting. This is the most unique one. Here, we can walk around. Hey! But between Gen 1 and 9, I haven't seen many glitches, aside from cheating with, like, say, an action replay, which isn't quite a glitch, I'd say. It's just kind of messing with it, you know? So I was curious about Gen 3, my most nostalgic generation, I guess. You know, the earliest one I had, initially. I wanted to see a number of glitches, many of which occurred early on and on Japanese versions of the games when they initially released, which makes total sense. So although I haven't experienced them firsthand, seeing this for the first time was an absolute joy. Back when glitches and problems in the gameplay was actually a strange and super rare phenomena, not the norm. But let's go back in time and look at some of the best Gen 3 glitches. The first one was discovered by a pet fish. Let me explain. Mutakimaru channel has been playing Pokemon with their pet fish and actually managed to beat Pokemon Sapphire with it after 3,195 hours. You may have heard of Twitch plays Pokemon, but having a fish play Pokemon is certainly just another incredible feat like that. Although beating the game is incredible, I think the more incredible part is finding a glitch in the game for the first time. The specific thing I'm referring to is the seafloor cavern boulder oversight. Bulbapedia sums it up as this. In the seafloor cavern, in the second to last room, there's a strength boulder puzzle that the player can accidentally make unsolvable. The game will reset the position of some boulders when the player walks away from them to make the puzzle solvable again. However, one of the boulders doesn't get reset properly, and its tile will contain 2 boulders at once. You can see the video going in slow motion to show off this bizarre event. I was pretty shocked when I first saw it happen, seeing the 2 boulders becoming clear once the player pushed one and the other revealed itself being in that same spot, but I wasn't the only one who was shocked. The chat also went wild when this happened. I hope to keep studying and one day be able to understand more Japanese, but I know there's a lot of astonishment and laughing in there. Next up is shenanigans with the Acro bike. I remember the tough choice between the Acro bike and the Mach bike back in Ruby. At least when I was a kid, the Mach bike felt so fast. Hopping you could do with the Acro bike looked so cool. Well, it turns out that the hopping initially had the potential to cause chaos and instability within the game, aside from just looking cool and fun. Eevee on YouTube has documented this and many other glitches and happenings within the game, and this once again was really interesting to see. The first instability glitch would be the lockup of the game, Bulbapedia explains it as, in the Japanese versions of Ruby and Sapphire, if the player continuously performs bunny hops by holding the B button on tall grass for a long yet undetermined period of time, the game may freeze after a wild battle. This lockup glitch, though, in the Japanese version seems like it isn't like that much of a rare occurrence, though. This lockup glitch, though, in the Japanese version seems like it isn't a rare occurrence, though, as there was even some information about avoiding this lockup while shiny hunting, because apparently using the Acro bike to hop in one place at the one time over and over, it's very effective because obviously you're not having to move and use up repel. Bunny hopping for 20 seconds lands you into this danger zone unless you find some ways around it. But the lockup in the black screen might not be the only problems that comes from this bunny hopping glitch thing. Some sub glitches that could also happen appear to be like just causing chaotic mess on your screen. I think it's really funny, probably also fun to experience if you know it's coming at least. Maybe not so fun if this happened out of the blue. The next bug that happens with the Acro bike being involved would be Landsurfing. In the Japanese versions of Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, by using the Acro bike to side hop north or south onto a tile adjacent to the water tile, and then pressing A at the exact right frame, the player can bring up the surf dialogue while facing a regular tile on land. Answering yes will cause the player to surf onto that tile. The player can then surf around on land. The game will still behave as if the player is walking normally otherwise. This certainly looks like something I would do with an action replay and would be super intrigued with it. Like, I can only really recall doing shenanigans and going out of bounds when using, an action replay, let's say with Diamond and Pearl back in the day. Same with like walking all over the map with no regards and no limits. You could see this breakage in Gen 3s through glitches like getting the marked clerk in Oldale Town to keep walking into and on top of trees when they offer up a free potion but your bag's already full. But there also used to be a specific rock wall spot you could walk onto in Sutopolis City. I think there's also a forbidden rock you can land on in the Sky Tower, even. There's a number of examples. In fact, let's pivot and talk about a rare English-specific glitch. NPCs not obeying any laws in order to approach you for a battle. It's 3 specific ones. The first one is a lady walking over a fence line in a rush to fight you, an old gentleman just plowing through metal fencing, and a child disappearing into the wall space that is separating you and him. Although I already mentioned not having first-hand glitch experience memories with Gen 3, maybe you do, and maybe you've been able to experience the most infamous berry glitch within it. This seems to be a big one for Gen 3 glitches, and Pokemon in general, because it uses an interesting mechanic in Gen 3. See, in Ruby and Sapphire, there's an internal clock running in the background. This allows the berry mechanic that is famous in these games to flourish. You're supposed to be able to plant berries, water them as time passes, watch them grow into full berry trees you can pick things from. This in-game clock is notorious already because of the fact that the cartridge can run dry after some time and the clock will stop working unless you replace the battery. You're likely familiar with the message, the internal battery has run dry. Not only are berries affected by this, but also the various time-related events, like the daily lottery, daily berries, even the Shoal Cave Tides, and Mirage Island. The berry glitch might look like this, but it's not the same thing. The way the berry glitch worked on these early cartridges was that after playing for about a year from starting a save file, the day counter stops moving. More specifically, you can start a new save file and then roughly 366 days later, or 8,760 hours in, the glitch activates and a number of problems can be encountered. Berries stop growing. People who give out berries will no longer do this. The rocket launch in Moss Deep City that happens once a week ceases to occur. Trainers stop wanting to rebattle. Your bedroom clock in the game stops. Game Corner never has service days. The Energy Guru never sells vitamins for cheap. The Return Frustration Man in Pacifilog stops giving out TMs. This was a big and widespread glitch with the early versions of the game because, Nintendo had to also come in and fix things. Thankfully though, this was a glitch Nintendo remedied through patches, implementing the Berry Problem Repair Program, also known simply as the Berry Program. Not only could you get your game fixed by getting a patch, you also had the option to simply send the cartridge to Nintendo to have it fixed. And on top of that, this program also brought a distribution of a shiny Zigzagoon along with a Lychee Berry via specifically made GBA cartridges in stores, that you would connect to and get the patch with the added gifts. I'm actually pretty jealous there was a way to get a shiny Zigzagoon back then through this, not only because it's one of my favorite shinies for the home region, but because seeing a shiny in Gen 3 seems exceptionally rare and crazy with the odds. Never in my life did I see a shiny in those games, but I can only imagine the headache this glitch probably caused people playing the games, as well as Nintendo. I don't have personal experience with this glitch, but it seems to be very well known in Pokemon in general and widely experienced. So this is one I'd definitely love to hear about your experiences with. This next bug is hiding in a place I did have some experience with, but not this situation. I'm talking about the Sand Ornament Collapse bug. Secret bases filled me with wonder as a kid. Even though I was never able to truly deck them out like I would have liked, there was always more dolls to collect, more rugs, everything. I loved the plushies, posters, rugs, and so on, but items like the sand ornament was never one I experienced. In the Japanese versions of Ruby and Sapphire, if the player places a sand ornament against the wall in a secret base and collapses it, adds a 1-tile or 3-tile poster behind the ornament, then exits and returns to the secret base, the ornament will not appear to have crumbled and it'll still have the poster behind it. Collapsing the sand ornament again will trigger a hole on its top area. In international versions of Ruby and Sapphire, as well as versions of Emerald, all of them, posters cannot be placed on a wall directly behind a sand ornament, even if collapsed. Very interesting. Okay, the next one, to wrap things up, is really bizarre. It also has to do with room decoration, in a way. The room we're decorating is the trainer school, and we're gonna make curtains with various black pixels created by Pokemon placement in box 8, slots 4 to 6 on the PC. This shows the bizarre black curtain glitch in action and how it can even be manipulated. When I mentioned that you can manipulate this, here's how, and here's what's shown. There's a small change that's visible moving a Pokemon from slot 4, but messing around with slot 5 shows a more obvious change based on the data. Messing with the placement and noticing the differences in pixels is interesting. What's even more interesting though to me is to see the manipulation that can be done and has been done by Evie, it looks like, who has been able to make cat faces out of the strange curtains. I don't think I can do it justice to explain what might be going on here, but I recommend you check out their videos to see more. These aren't all the glitches, but these are certainly ones that stick out to me and I wanted to share. Honestly, so many creators who document these glitches and things and have allowed people like me to see them all this time later are wonderful. Please check out all the resources and sources I used in here. Give them credit. And yeah, thank you for allowing this to be known, to be logged. Even though I didn't experience really anything afoot in Gen 3 when I was playing it as a kid, maybe you did, like I said. Definitely let me know. But above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye!